We are Group 100 and will be addressing the topic of the changing nature of organizations and the workplace, and how we can better prepare ourselves to thrive in the competitive business environment through discussions about technology, globalization, flexibility, and diversity.
Organizations have always had an ongoing race with the advancement of technology, from simple tools used by cavemen, leading towards carts and building equipment, and eventually the evolution of complex computerized communication technology. Organizational work has come a very long way. Technology is a complex concept that is described to have multifaceted elements. According to Paul Solly, technology is a four-dimensional activity. The dimensions include physical tangible object, such as an iPhone computer. The second dimension signifies technological knowledge. The third dimension is described as the usage and the creating of technological artifacts. And the final dimension involves the driving force and power that technology has and how it influences human behavior. There are a lot of dynamic changes within organizations, work, and the workplace, and one very important trend are the updating and understanding of technology. With the increase in technology use, people need to understand the consequences and realities that we face in the future. This technological trend is an unstoppable force that needs to be recognized and respected. Successful organizations have realized this trend and have adapted to some of the consequences that are involved with the use of technology. The consequences can include environmental, ethical, and human resource issues. The environmental issues are a big issue that organizations need to help resolve as the modern consumer has become a lot more aware of shady organizational practices. Many issues such as excessive energy use, CO2 emissions, and industrialization have had the spotlight due to increased use of information communication technologies such as phones and social media. Ethical threats involving technological advancements are important within business-to-business efforts. Privacy has become a precious thing in modern-day society, and this is due to the sea of information and data available right on your fingertips. The way organizations and individuals use technology needs to be respected and not taken for granted. The other threat involving organizations' technological advancements are the job uncertainty or destruction due to automation and virtual workers. This terrifying thought that jobs can be replaced by technologies or robots can give anyone an uneasy feeling about the future of work. Although this sci-fi reality seems surreal, it is slowly and surely becoming our reality. The relationship between humans and technology is growing stronger and stronger by the year. We are so used to having our devices that it has become a part of our daily lives, and without it, we can't seem to function. This eventually creates this building anxiety within us. We are connected, and without it, we have this fear of missing out. This is not only in organizational context, but infused in human behavior. To overcome these issues and pitfalls, we have to be unafraid of the reality of technology and embrace the change. We have to be the change. We have to grow with the nature of technology and not only adapt but build on our knowledge and skills. With that being said, today's technologies have created a new business environment that has a lot more opportunity and a lot more uncertainty.
Globalization plays a significant role in the changing nature of the organizations and workplace. Essentially, globalization is the new trend towards increasing global economic integration and is considered to currently be the largest force affecting world economies at present. A new market has emerged from within globalization, which has implied significant changes in the nature of the organizations and marketplace. This new market that has emerged governs the way that organizations operate and the way that employees are treated. The full extent of the effects of globalization in the workplace is yet to be discovered, but more companies are embracing this trend and becoming more diverse in all areas of the workplace. Globalization, like anything else, has both its negative and positive effects. Business managers have acknowledged the effects of globalization, mainly due to the fact that globalization has allowed for organizations to have access to a wider range of consumer markets and distribution networks, as well as coordinating production and business transactions within economic networks that involve cross-border internal and external relationships. Alongside greater business transactions and distribution networks, globalization has allowed for the organizations to strive not only towards world dominance in sales volume and market share, but also for greater capital flow, which has led to significant structural changes within the organization, especially with multinational corporations. Cultural diversity is another factor of globalization. Cultural diversity has allowed for workers to adopt and adapt to new policies and guidelines, as well as working with different ethnic groups and religious differences. Outsourcing has become a major component of globalization, especially for multinational corporations. It affects the organizations in a positive way, but has negative effects on the employees. Outsourcing has positive benefits on third world countries as they can offer their services at a rate greatly reduced compared to countries with higher living standards. Alongside these positive effects of globalization, there are the negative side effects to also consider. Although multinationals are creating economic growth, this happens as a result of job debasement and job loss due to the advanced developments within the economy, such as outsourcing. While this may mean increased profits for corporations, workers are no longer willing to accept lower wages, joke jobs, and lack of job security. While job creation once protected corporations from unrest and fostered loyalty, mergers, outsourcing, and layoffs have led to the corporations losing their natural allies. Globalization offers both risk and opportunities. New Zealand can achieve significant benefits from future globalization. The challenge will be to ensure that we are one of the adaptive economies that can successfully adopt policies that maximize the benefits and minimize the risk.
There has been an increasing trend of workplace flexibility practices being implemented by organizations in which to help employees not only manage work, but also non-work responsibilities at the same time. An increasingly popular practice that is being introduced into organizations is telecommuting. One way of defining telecommuting is the involvement of work arrangements in which an employee performs officially assigned duties at home or at other work sites geographically convenient to the residence of the employee. In the present day, the traditional working model of 9 to 5 is now changing, where more and more organizations are adopting the practice of telecommuting. What is helping facilitate this changing nature of work is the increase in technological advancements. Technological advancement allows for the usage of virtual communication tools such as video conferencing, emailing, and in turn giving employees the option of having to be physically present in the office. This sort of flexibility benefits organizations hugely in terms of organizational performances ranging from decreasing employee absentees, staff turnover rate, improving productivity, retaining talent, and attracting talent. In an individual perspective, this type of workplace practice ensures that employees are given more autonomy and flexibility, resulting in being less stressed, fatigued, bored, and also reduced work-life conflict. Research has shown that telecommuting has the potential to also decrease job satisfaction. The reasons behind this theory is because there is a lack of interpersonal relationships with co-workers as well as managers, the lack of face-to-face communication, and lastly, feeling out of the loop in organizational politics and decision-making. Telecommuting also contributes to the theory of out of sight, out of mind, meaning that employees would feel the effects of being isolated and have constant anxieties about whether their absence in the workplace will cause them to be passed up for promotions, losing out on good projects, which can have an adverse impact on their career prospects. However, the limitations of this workplace practice on organizations is that it will be difficult to measure employee performance, the ability to monitor whether or not employees are doing their work, and losing the ability to create a cohesive team culture in their workplace. The changing nature of work in organizations regarding flexibility can be linked to the concept of work-life balance. There are many ways you can define work-life balance. One way is that it's about effectively managing the juggling act between paid work and other activities that are important to people. It's about work not completely crowding out the other things that matter most to people, like time with family, participation in community activities, voluntary work, personal development, leisure, and recreation. Work-life balance has become part of our daily language. It does have meaning to us. If you ask people what work-life balance means to them, you'll soon discover that each person experiences balance in a different way. It is unattainable to keep each element balanced because different people have different priorities, such as family over work and vice versa. There is no one-size-fits-all solution. Therefore, in terms of workplace flexibility practices such as telecommuting, this wouldn't be a practice that's suited for everyone. To thrive in the business environment, it's important for an employee to have the right combination of participation in paid work and other non-work aspects in life, which can vary and change over time. To achieve this, organizations require the knowledge of their employees' preferred working styles and to allow them to work in these preferred methods, whether it's telecommuting or working in the office, in order to get the most productivity out of them.
As the workplace evolves, a major factor that will change within organizations is the role of diversity. Diversity within the workplace is headed for changes as we move into the future and the role technology plays within organizations develops. Changes, namely in gender diversity, cultural diversity, and disability in the workplace will be affected, and organisations need to adapt in order to thrive in the competitive business environment. Firstly, steadily increasing numbers of females in the workplace will create a more diverse work environment. Currently, women make up just under 50% of New Zealand's workforce, and the proportion of females participating in the workforce has increased from 54.5% in 1994 to 63.3% in 2014. As the number of females in the workplace increase, a need for emphasis on practices to accommodate females will need to be implemented. For example, maternity leave and sick days used to take care of children need to be taken into account, as women usually take up these roles in the home. As more women enter the workplace, it is imperative that organisations realise they need to be more flexible around female employees, and acknowledging the roles that they may have at home that affect their work. Using technology where and when applicable to allow more flexibility, like the ability to work from home when children are sick, for female employees, will allow them to complete tasks from home, which would be a major advantage to any business, as it will maintain productivity through stages where productivity is often lacking. Similarly, the effects of technology brings people together. This creates a more ethnically and culturally diverse work environment. The competitive business environment is now very much a global affair, and with more and more people connected via the internet every day, this will only grow. With this comes the benefits of having the ability to source the perfect person for any job from around the world, thus creating a more complete workforce. However, locally, it means that the workplace is more competitive than ever before, and individuals must work even harder to stand out amongst a much denser crowd. People leaving also creates a problem for organisations, as they may take with them specific knowledge they haven't shared. The ability to access people from around the world with specific knowledge in order to obtain information and collaborate with them to accomplish business objectives creates an environment where everything is accessible and of the highest standard. Businesses, therefore, need to be diverse in order to be successful in the global marketplace.
For individuals looking to enter the workforce, it is important to realise that the workforce is heading towards becoming even more diverse. This means that jobs will be even more competitive than ever before in the business environment, and that to be successful, you will need to set yourself apart. For organisations, it means integrating new technologies into their workplace so that they can continue to be productive, and choosing the best way to create a diverse workforce that will work for the organisation and be successful within their business model.
Created using Powtoon.